Well, Matthew, if it was one of your missions, it's mission accomplished with 100 winners on the board and good form during the course of the week. You start off in the first race on Sunday with a very well-bred horse that seems to be coming along the right way in Polar Vortex in the groom's race.
Yeah, and he's a horse who's got a very stout pedigree, and obviously the first run he was very green and dumb. Second run he made major improvements. I expect him to improve again. It's a small but competitive field, and I'll be very happy if he ran in the places again.
Lovely. Then on to the second race where you've got a very, very nicely bred daughter of VAR. She may not be the biggest filly in the world, but she does have stallgate 11 to overcome.
Yeah, and she hasn't been showing us too much, although in saying that she's been improving. She's out of Dubai Moonlight, who's probably not an early type of mare, doesn't produce early type of horses, but we'll give her a run and see how she goes. She'll benefit a lot from this run.
Lovely. The first leg of the place accumulator sees the well-performed ALFOK. He got beaten by a really good horse last time out, and he looks to be very competitive here.
Yeah, last time in hindsight was probably the wrong track and distance for him, as he is a little slow at the gates, and 1,000 metres on the inside track, you really need to be on your game. So he was at the back of the field, and he ran on nicely. It was his first run after a gelding, so there is room for improvement. Put the cheap pieces on him just to get him a little more into the race. His work's been good, and we're expecting a good run.
Excellent. Then on to the sixth race. MOOFEED, anything but disgraced in the Jubilee, but maybe just a tad far from probably better 14.
Yeah, he's ideally distance suited here. The Jubilee, he had no cover and was pulling, which you could expect from him first time going 1800. But he's in good form. I think this might be his last run as he's going off to stud. So, we're hoping that he can go off on a winning note.
Lovely. And then on to the eighth race where you've got a horse called Trip to Rio. He's not going to Hollywood, but he's certainly consistent, and he looks overdue.
Yeah, he's a hard knocker, and you're right, he is overdue. Steadily coming down in the ratings. Just from that draw, he'll probably need a little bit of luck, but there's no reason why he shouldn't be right there.
Paul, thanks for your time. Just the two runners on Sunday, starting off with the apparently quite talented Secret Harbour in race 3.
Yes, Andrew, he's quite a well-bred horse, well-related horse. He's a horse that we haven't pushed too much. He's a bit of a problem in the starting stalls, but he's got a lot of talent, and he's on the upgrade. There's two horses to beat, I think. Obviously, Joe Somers' horse is quite talented, and so is Mike de Kock's horse quite talented. But if he behaves himself and jumps on terms, he has a chance.
Then on to race 4, you've got EDISSON.
Yes, big backward animal. We've run him over a few sprints just to get him strong. Going a bit further now, so there is improvement there.
All right, Alec, thanks for your time. We start off in the second race with the CASHEL Palace and stalwart owner of your stable, Chris Gerber.
Yeah, I mean, he's buying more fillies these days for the stud, Mutanshoek. And this is a nice filly. I think she's got a classic look about her. Fort Wood out of an imported mare. She's got a bit of a each way chance. She should be green, but if there's no star or if she puts it together, she's got a chance of winning.
So worth putting into buy pots.
Definitely, I think she's going to be a nice filly in time.
Super. Then we move on to Caribbean Empire.
Yeah, Caribbean Empire, he's over-raced on a number of occasions. Even his last race, he got his tongue over the bit. He's got a lovely action, this horse, and I think he's better than his form. We've got him with a crossover grackle on, and he seems to be a lot more manageable at home. So I'm hoping for more of a decent run, because he doesn't, he's doing it upside down. So if he can settle in the race, can start to show what he can do, and I think it's maybe a place.
For the uninitiated, is that the same sort of bridle that Frankel used to race in?
It's become popular with Frankel, but it's been around a long time, yeah.
Fantastic. Then you've got Urban Myth.
Yeah, Urban Myth is 1400 is a little bit short, but he's got some gas. But he drew badly in the 1800, and I've got other runners in the 1800, and to find the right race for him, instead of standing in the box, he might be able to earn a check here, which has helped to pay his keep. But he's drawn a little bit deep here too. But 1400, hopefully they go a better speed, and he's not stuck wide for too long. And I I'd include him in exotics, but it's not really the right race for him.
Right, well then we move on to a horse that's got loads of ability, and on his day he really is a horse to be reckoned with, an Amazing Strike.
Yeah, Amazing Strike. He's done well lately. I mean, he's not a youngster. He's 5. He's rising 6, but he seems to have got a bit stronger somehow. He's been enjoying his racing, and he comes right at that time of year. He won 2 races, and we might have to wait another year for him to win another 2 races, because he comes right at that time of year. But he is well and must have a shot. I think he's in with a good chance on Sunday.
Lovely. Now, when we were talking about Urban Myth earlier on, you referred to other horses, and I assume that you were talking about Resolute, Captain, and Sheet Weaver, who represent you in the 8th of the afternoon.
Yeah, they're both in the same race. So it's hard to separate them. As I said, I couldn't find a race for all of them. So now we've got 2 horses in one race with different owners, which is not ideal. But they both must have some sort of a shout. But then there's lots of others to beat. So if they fight it out, I'll have to explain to somebody. But I don't think it's going to happen. We'll hope for luck in the running, and they're both working well. Resolute Captain, I thought it was his first trial last time over a bit of ground. He's on his dam side. He's bred to go ground, and this is coming back a furlong now. He's coming back 200 meters, but he's got a good draw. And Gavin Lorena actually asked for the ride, so I don't know if that tells you anything. He's got his ideas. He knows the horse from long ago. And then Sheet Weaver, he's a beautiful horse, and he works like a good horse, but he's got a problem with hanging. And last time he won, Pierre Stradum, I don't think he would have asked for this ride. He's not in town, but I don't think he would have asked for this ride again, because he had a really tough time keeping him on a straight course, and he almost lost the race on objection. So JP's got the ride again. He knows the horse. We're trying a different bit, because we tried all sorts of things to sort him out, and he seemed to be fine at home until you put him in a gallop and ask him for an effort. And it's a weird thing, because he's not hanging regular, but as soon as you ask him to put his head down and go, he hangs right. And I think I'm even going to put pacifiers on him. I don't know if it's going to help, but we've got a different bit on him, and we'll try anything.